And anything that is currently selected for display and appearing in your design, and that also has customizable options, is going to appear down in this list. This is really cool because you don't need to customize everything. You just need to customize the stuff that's customizable, such as the action box. In this case, we're going to take a look at that. And you'll see that we've got some very simple options. You've got a content column and a media column. The content column, you can stick anything you want in here. You can say, hey, design like a boss. And then you could stick an email form in there if you wanted. Let me see if I have an example of an email form that's easy to stick in there real quick. Pardon my code excursion here. Here we go. Here's a form. So we could stick an email form in there. This option down here, any content you stick in there is going to be automatically formatted like a WordPress post. If you stick a form in there, you're going to want to disable the automatic formatting. So that's why I selected that here. There's an action button included in the action box, which is this guy. In this case, the form already has a button, so we're going to get rid of this as well. And that removes some other options relative to the button. So we'll save that. Let's see what happens. So there we go. We've got our title, and we've got a little quick description that was included in the form content actually. We've got our sign up field, and then we've got our sign up button. That was really easy. So now I just dropped in an opt-in form that easily. So you could copy and paste, literally copy and paste the code that Aweber or MailChimp or whoever your email provider is. You can just drop it into here, select the options like I did there, hit save, and you've got an email form in a super high visibility area on your site. Quick note, the action box by default appears on two templates. This is your home template. This is, if you haven't really modified your website at all, this is what your home page, this is the template that's going to appear. Some of you have selected a front page template, and that is what I'm looking at right now. So the action box is included on the front page template and the home template by default. You can change that stuff. It's not available to be changed in the options itself, but it's easy to change in the Thesis Skin editor. Not going to do that right now, but just saying if you want to include an action box on other pages of your site, just know that it is quite easy to do so. Our support staff can help you out with that. I'm sure you can figure it out in the forums as well. Back to the action box options. So let's say we don't want to do a form. Maybe we just want to say, check out this demo page. And this is actually what I am doing real quick on the Thesis demo site. I say use this action box for opt-ins or leads, give a little bit of a brief intro, and then I provide a link down here. I created a special page to show off the Effectus Skin. That's the features page, which our other skin demos do not include, because these are features that are unique to Effectus, and I want people to see that, so I made this in the action box, so it'd be easy to go check out, the basic features of the skin with a quick description of them. So the way I did that, super easy. I did this in the action box, dropped my content in here, I left the tags on there. I enabled the action buttons and said, here's the link, and the destination URL is whatever. It's just a little sample in this case, but go back to here, and there it is. So you dropped in your content, you got a button, and now it goes to the site you wanted to send people to. Super easy. Really great way to generate opt-ins, leads, or just grab attention on your site. Very customizable. So you can do, you've got this other option here. So we just messed with the content column. We'll close that. And now we can look at the media column. You can actually drop in content as well if you wanted content side by side, or you can drop in media. By media, we mean a video or an image. So it's really handy if you're doing a product demonstration. You may want to put a video on one side and some content on the other. That's an easy way to do that. Right now, this supports video embed URLs from YouTube or Vimeo. I think that should cover most of the videos that you guys would have right now. And then, of course, you can stick an image in there as well. So let's look at what that looks like.
So in this case, you put both a video and an image in. Oh, no. I see.
Well, I didn't drop a video in there. That was actually placeholder text.
Okay.
That's HTML5 placeholder text to show you the format that we're looking for there.
Mm-hmm.
The image options, this image is actually, the action box will format the image to fit the space, but you can override that by selecting natural image width and natural image height to make it appear, as it was originally built. But Effectus is going to try to fit that to the space in a smart manner if you do not select those items.
Well, in fact, it looks like it's cropping it, doesn't it?
I believe it is cropping it. We'll get into that because there is a built-in crop tool, an auto cropper that is in there for performance reasons. But for now, it's sufficient to know that you can, and we can switch the order that those appear in, but it's sufficient to know that you have total control over what's happening here and can really set up any kind of product demonstration or sales lead, that sort of thing, in any manner that you want.
If you put a video in, can you put in, essentially a cover-like video in that spot?
I'm not sure what you mean by that. You mean like the thumbnail image that's the placeholder for the video?
No, I'm really talking about a video that, well, the questioner is referring to the PayPal site. When you log into PayPal, or when you go to the PayPal site, there is essentially a splash video that's playing in the background behind stuff.
Oh, I see, like that. No,
video.
this does not have that capability at this time, but it might be something we can look at. I kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one where there's content overlaying on that, but there's kind of like some video action going on in the background.
Yeah,
I think that's
right.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So that's pretty advanced, but anyhow, there's the action box. I think the action box is extremely handy and is probably a feature that's going to be creeping its way into our other skins just by virtue of how essential that is to really, making business happen online. I think it's a tool that all of our skins should probably have. So that's the quick overview of the design and content options in Effectus. You've got other stuff. I'll just do a brief run through. There's an author box built in here.
Don't forget the menu.
Yeah. We'll get to those in this little section here. So the author box is this guy that appears at the bottom of your post. You can turn this off if you want in the display options, but if you want to use it, it's really cool. So this will pull a bio from your WordPress user profile page. So we can go look at that. And so Effectus adds, you got a bio down here, but Effectus adds some other fields that are useful. Twitter username, custom avatar, Facebook username, Google+, blah, blah, blah. You've got all these social media site links, essentially, that you can include for each author on your site, and whatever's included is going to appear down here in a little handy link with an icon to that service. So if you want to link up your social profiles, this is a very easy way to do so. And I like the informational organization aspect of this where it's associated with your WordPress user accounts. So if you have a multi-author site, that's a very straightforward and clean way to manage those things. So that is the author box, and that appears at the bottom of posts, not pages. And like I said, you could actually include it on pages if you wanted. Support can help you with that, but bottom line is easy to do, easy to control. And you've got some options for that as well. These are pretty hardcore options, honestly. These are just in there for hardcore webmasters who really want to nail all the details. You can put a different title on there so it doesn't have to say meet the author. You can enable Schema, which are already enabled by default. If you don't know what that is, you can look it up, but it's like rich text formatting, but it only occurs in the HTML side of things. Users don't see it. You can link the author names to archives. You can just choose what to display or what not to display, for example. You can change the way some of this stuff appears. You can even add a social introduction, such as follow me on, and that would appear down here, follow me on whatever sites. So there's the author box, totally customizable, totally handy. We also have a copyright and attribution box. If you look down here in the footer, most of our skins just have an attribution link. But this one, for business purposes, a lot of businesses want to put copyright information on there. I put that on DIYthemes.com. I put it on my personal site. So we now included this copyright box that is very easy to control. So you can go to the copyright thing. You can choose your start year. Well, we started in 2008 now. Can't believe how long it's been. And this is DIY themes. And then we will say all rights reserved, or else, because we're tough like that. You can put in an affiliate link in here if you wanted, if you have a DIY Themes affiliate link. And then we can go over here, and there we go, 2008, 2015, DIY Themes LLC, all rights reserved, or else. So easy control of your copyright line there. Like I said, if you don't want that to appear, if you don't want any of that to appear, you can turn it off, I think. Well, you should be able to turn that off. Right now it's not turn offable, but we'll add that. So that's just an oversight. No big deal. Next, we got the multi-navigation menu. This is a really cool feature. So anyone who is building a membership site with WordPress is familiar with this idea of having a regular menu for your, just your random site visitors, and then a different menu for your logged in users. Okay? Typically, this is one of those things that developers have to code up, or people pay developers to code up for them, and it's a little more complicated than it should be. But with Effectus, this is super easy. So you can go to the multi-nav menu, and right now the menu that we're seeing is menu 1. That's the default menu that will display whether you're running, it doesn't matter if you're running a membership site or not. This is how you get your regular menu to show up. But perhaps you run a membership site and you want to display a different menu for logged in users. Well, you could choose menu el segundo for display there. And these menus that show up in the dropdown are menus that you have created in the WordPress menus interface available here. So anything you've created there will show up here for selection. And then now that I'm logged in, we are actually going to see a different menu. I actually have to save it. That usually is a big help. There it is. Here's our second menu. Now, we can also automatically enable a login, logout link on these menus, which is really handy.
I think that's a totally cool feature. I love it.
Yep. Super fast. So now we've got a login, logout link, and we've got a complete menu package for a membership site, all able to be controlled from your WordPress dashboard, no code required, with all the basic tools of the trade. So that's pretty excellent. I think that was a great idea. So real quick shout out, Matthew Horn is the developer of this skin. He started working with DIY Themes in January of 2015. In my opinion, he understands the new Thesis architecture better than anyone else out there. And because of that, he's brought a lot of interesting ideas to the table with skin creation and also with the Thesis platform. And it's been really refreshing from my point of view to have him looking at these skins and thinking about these skins, because I've kind of gotten locked into a particular way of thinking about Thesis and about skins, and he does not share any of those biases or those lock-ins. So he's done some things that I just simply would not have done, and I think some of these results are really exciting. So things like this menu, I mean, it's awesome. That's great thinking, and you guys can now benefit from that. So that's great. Anyhow, so those are the basic content options available to you in the Effectus Skin. We've also got a logo page. I started this with the Pearsonified skin. We're doing it here. Choose your business logo, set your logo. It's going to show up in the site header. Super easy, super easy. So now we've got action box, customization. We've got your business logo up there. You put this here, put your sales lead right here, and now you got a business website. It took you 0 time, no coding at all. You have total control over the options from the simple, the simple pages here in your dashboard.
What's the difference between a logo and a header image?
Well, a header image is just, it's kind of a semantic difference, but a header image is just a large image usually that spans the full width of the site, whereas a logo is a specific thing that may fit within a header. And so this skin did not really have a place for a header image. I guess we could do what's called a replacement of that, and maybe we'll add something like that in the future for a header image option. But logo seems to have more specific purpose, and it kind of just depends on the design of the skin whether or not there's an area for the header image.
But in the practical standpoint, well, actually, I guess the logo image is not currently using the header image API then.
That's exactly right. This is getting a little bit too technical, I think, but that, for example, the header image API that is currently built into the Thesis Skin API system probably should never have been included in that. The way this is currently included, I developed a little library of add-on features that can be added to any skin relatively easily. The tools include right now logo image additions, also Google fonts. So here in the design menu, you can select from all the fonts marked with a G are Google fonts. And so all these Google fonts are added by this little simple library that you can add to any skin. And so that was, instead of forcing people through this process of integrating those things all the time, that's ridiculous. I just built a simple little library, very easy to include, super fast, gives you extra functionality. So there's the logo, there's the Google fonts, there's also some typography and color tools that are used by skins to generate some of that dynamic color output that I was mentioning earlier. And of course, the stuff for which Thesis has always been famous, perfect typography that fits, whatever widths you've created, whatever sizes you've chosen, all that stuff, environmentally aware typography might be a good way to express it. All that stuff is included by these add-on libraries rather than being part of the basic Thesis Skin API functionality. And I think that's smart because this add-on functionality changes over time. Like I said, the header image is probably not the best way to have done that, so I wish that weren't a part of the core right now, you know what I mean, because it is changing. Any specification that's going to be rolling or changing over time is probably best suited to be an add-on rather than a core component. But like I said, that's getting very, very technical and software-y.